Well, good morning everyone. Today I'm in the lanes around Loddiswell, hoping to walk on some of the green lanes and find possibly a disused railway line. That's the plan anyway. I have brought a camera, but I've also brought my dog Tizzie. So I've packed lightly because today is about her. It's a nice dog walk. I've just got one camera with me. It's a bit overkill. I've brought my Fujifilm GFX 100S, but I'm going to try it all handheld today. I don't see why I shouldn't get some good photos. And the only other camera I bought is this Osmo 360, so no other lenses, no filters. This is what I've got. Oh, and obviously my dog Tizzie. Hang on. Well, if you've watched my videos before, you might have met Tizzie. Tizzie is a 4-year-old Lakeland Terrier. If you don't know much about Lakeland Terriers, have a Google about it. They're basically a working dog. And let's put it this way, what she lacks in stature, she more makes up in spirit and character. That's all I'm going to say. So we've had a fair amount of rain recently, so I feel the woods should look lush at the moment. I think they're going to look really nice and green. No reason they shouldn't, judging by the mud I've just walked through. But we're going to be in the woods hopefully soon, looking ahead. Well, I've just seen this splash of colour, a load of foxgloves with a stick pile. I'm going to take a quick photo here. Sorry, Tizzie. Now, I did lie, I have actually got one filter with me. I've realised I've got my polarising filter on me, which could be handy today.
This was actually the first photograph I made on the walk. Unfortunately, the camera was pointing the wrong way, so there's no footage of me taking it. There wasn't any great mystery to the composition. What caught my eye was simply the splash of colour. The bright foxgloves stood out against the tangle of branches behind them and felt like a good way to begin the day's photography.
Well, as I hoped, the woods are lush. Every time I take a photo, I'm reminded by Tizzie that today is a dog walk and she drags me on a bit, so I'm having to shoot very quickly. So I've whacked the ISO up to about 2000. As I say, I'm aperture priority, and hopefully the image stabilisation works. No reason it shouldn't. I found it pretty good in the past. Whether it can deal with a dog pulling me is another matter. Now, I've just seen this scene. This looks promising. Let's get a picture. Lovely moss-covered trees and a stream in the background. Right, that was 8 for a second. I'm going to whack up the ISO. I'm currently at ISO 2500. I'm actually going to go all the way up to 4000, I think. Even with ISO 4000, I was shooting at a 15th of the second with the dog pulling, so hopefully that will work out okay. Come on then, Tiz, let's move on. Well, I had a bit of a tumble there. Luckily no harm done. I lost a filter in the lens cap momentarily, but I've found it. No harm done. So let's carry on and be a bit careful and watch my footing more. So the weather gods are on my side. I'm going from sunny to overcast. I've got a little bit of rain in the air, but lots of conditions to play with, and the ferns are looking amazing at the moment, really looking stunning, probably at their best. So Devon has some of the few remaining rainforests in England. I don't know whether this is classed as one of them, but it is certainly very damp and very humid. So there's a lovely fern in front of some old tree stumps. Quite big tree stumps, more broken trees than tree stumps. But I'm going to see if I can get a photo there.
This was a useful reminder that not every idea works. I was drawn to the dead trunks rising above the ferns, but the photograph never quite came together in the way I'd hoped. A few moments later, I noticed this fern from directly above. It wasn't as ambitious a composition, but the repeating shapes and structure of the leaves made for a much stronger image. In fact, It may have been my favourite photograph of the day.
It is. What's this? Girl. Oh. Well, the sun's come out quite brightly. I've actually underexposed that by a one stop, that last picture. Well, I bought Tizzie treats and she's got water in the car, but I neglected to bring anything for myself. It would have been really lovely to sit down here for a bit with some sandwiches or something. I always forget. I even got a thermos of tea ready, but never mind. Well, this bridge must be part of the abandoned railway line. I believe it's called the Primrose Line. So I guess it looks really stunning in spring. Well, this is quite an impressive cutting. This must have taken a lot of men, a lot of time to dig this out, and probably a lot of dynamite. Anyway, I'm going to try and get a photograph around here. Well, that was good. As I took the picture, the light came out slightly and illuminated this bank here. So hopefully that will look quite nice.
This is why patience can be important in landscape photography. A few moments earlier, the bank was in deep shade, but when the sun finally broke through, it illuminated the moss-covered rocks and backlit the fern, giving the scene a sense of depth and life.
Well, we should take a picture of you, shouldn't we? Yeah, let's take a picture of you. Good girl. Right, do you want to sit? Tizzie, sit. Good girl. Look at me, Tizzie. Hey, Tiz. There's a good girl. Look at me. Oh, that deserves a treat. Good girl. Well, I'm not the greatest pet photographer in the world, but I think that picture will look all right, and I'll probably Photoshop the lead out. But yeah, you did well, didn't you, Tiz? Deserved a treat there, didn't you? Good girl.
I may have brought the GFX for the Woodland, but it would have been wrong not to come home with at least one photograph of Tizzie. She wasn't especially interested in being photographed, but for a few seconds she gave me this look before disappearing off down the path again.
Well, actually the sun is quite bright now and it's causing me a little problem because some of the leaves are very, very highlighted in the sun and they're just going to look white in the photograph. So I'm trying to zoom in on various areas of woodland where the sunspots aren't, and hopefully we'll get a photo.
What drew me to this scene was just how lush it felt. I zoomed in to focus on the layers of ferns, ivy and foliage, avoiding some of the brighter areas around the edge of the frame. The polarizer really earned its keep here, saturating the greens and helping to capture that damp, almost rainforest-like atmosphere.
So I'm not sure what this is. Looks like some kind of swamp. Doesn't look like something that should be here. So I'm going to have to try and scrabble down the bank to take this photo, and it looks a bit slippy, so I'm not going to take this video camera. If it's any good, I will pop a picture of it up now.
At first glance, this looks like woodland, but it's really just reflections in still water. A polarizer helped bring out the trees mirrored on the surface, turning a small swamp into something that felt almost dreamlike.
Well, I didn't stay down there too long. There was too many midges. Well, it's a very dark scene, but I'm going to try and photograph this anyway. I think if we had a little bit more rain, that would actually be a proper waterfall. I know it wouldn't be a big one, but
not every scene works as a photograph. I was drawn to the trickle of water and the lush moss growing around it. But the light was very flat, and the composition never quite came together. This was the strongest frame from a few attempts, before I decided to move on and look elsewhere.
well, I'm coming to the end of the trail, so I'm going to put my cameras away and do the mile walk to the car, and I'll see you back in the office.
I almost walked straight past this scene. Looking at it afterwards, I realised it summed up the day rather well. At the start of the walk, I didn't know what photographs I'd come home with, or whether taking a camera and a dog out together was a good idea. Like the path itself, the only way to find out was to keep walking.
Anyway, I got back to the office and reviewed the photos, and I'm pretty happy actually. All right, they're not stunning compositions, but the ibis works really well considering they were just all handheld shots, and some of them I was shooting at quite low shutter speeds. So in the video I mentioned at one point it was 1/8 of the second, but the images were still sharp, so I'm really happy with that. As an exercise with my dog, it was great. I mean, I absolutely love taking the camera out with the dog. I'm not sure why I haven't done it before, and I'm definitely going to repeat it again. It was, I'm going to say, a success. I mean, obviously, I will do it in the same controlled environment as I did this time, i.e. no tripods, no filters, etc., etc. Just basically handheld snapshots. So until the next video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.